Hey everyone, as you know, maximizing affiliate volume and revenue is like crazy important. Obviously, it's a big part of making passive income. So when I found this tool called Geniuslink, I really wanted to give it a shot. I was first introduced to it by Niche Site Lady on Twitter. She was mentioning that she had started trying it out, and basically I'm a sucker for like anything she does, I will try. I think it's a really cool idea, this tool. I want to talk about my experience with it and whether or not I think it's worth it. So let's talk about what it is first. So it's nothing like Lasso. It's nothing like any one of those like, oh, it just creates a box kind of systems. And I know Lasso is more than that. Don't come at me, Lasso lovers. I just mean that when you look at this here, it does kind of look like, okay, so it just makes a little box for your affiliates. How is that revolutionary? That wouldn't be, to be honest. It does way more than that. So as you can see, it creates like a bunch of options for people to buy from. And so you can actually create these like little widgets basically where it's going to have multiple purchase options available. But beyond that, it can even create deep links on your site and then automatically send people to, based on like AI learning and based on their location, the best affiliate platform for them. So for example, in travel, there's massive debates about booking.com versus Expedia versus hotels.com versus Agoda versus a million other very similar platforms. And what you have to do is just test them manually otherwise to figure out, okay, which one works the best, which is time intensive. And I am a lazy girl. I want to like save as much time as possible for naps. So I am willing to do whatever it takes to get that time back for my napping. So I figured I would give it a go. They very kindly, they saw me interested in it on Twitter and then offered me an extended free trial. So I was able to give it a bit more of a go than most people would be able to, which is really, really kind of them. However, I'll be honest, it has not colored or like influenced my review. I want this to be super honest. So I'm gonna go into like everything that I noticed. Now, I'm not gonna log into my account because I've let it lapse, which I think immediately tells you I did not enjoy this tool as much as I'd hoped I would. I'm sure that if I had given it a deeper dive, I might have kind of committed to it. My biggest issue, and the reason I didn't want to do that, is that much like Lasso, when you join, you have to convert all of your links to Geniuslink. So that means if you leave Geniuslink, and it took me about like 9 days to get a response from them on this when I asked after I'd signed up. I was like, hey, so if I convert my links, will they auto switch back at the end? And they were like, no, it's like they all become Genius links, which made it very hard to test because my main site has like 300 posts on it. It's got probably hundreds of affiliate links, if not thousands at this point. And like I said, I am lazy. I'm not going to go back in and switch all of those out at the end. So it meant that I couldn't run this test on my main site in full. I did part of it on my main site and then I did part of it on a smaller little site of mine, which was a bit complicated and a bit frustrating because it meant that I couldn't see if it could increase my commissions on my main site. What I find really frustrating about tools like this, and I do understand why they kind of have to do that, is that, yeah, you end up really frustrated having to go and undo it all if and when you want to leave. And what that often ends up meaning is that people stick around with these tools and are kind of locked in perpetuity because changing is too challenging. And yes, there are ways that you could just revert your site back to a backup that maybe you keep, but then if you're doing a month-long test, you can't publish anything new in that time. You can't really make any changes. There are workarounds. I don't think that they're great workarounds, so I will be honest, I did not do them. So with this tool, what I did is they have two different kind of options, and I believe they list them in the features area. So they have these dynamic link destinations that basically will reroute from deep links anywhere on your site to the best platform for that person. So it does this in a variety of ways. It does seem to use some AI learning. It does also seem to like almost have like a preset idea of like, okay, if someone is in the UK, they're gonna like this platform best. And I noticed this especially because they also have an Amazon specific version of this. And that's what I was able to test on my main site by just adding a plugin that then I was able to delete later, and it left my Amazon links as is, which is great. And I kind of wish they had that option for everything, even just for the trial period. Like long term, yes, we don't want more plugins, but like to begin with, it would have been helpful. So I was able to then see that, okay, certain people that were clicking were immediately being sent to like Amazon Italy, to Amazon Canada, to Amazon UK, whatever. I don't think I fully needed that because I do have Amazon One Link set up, which is free and will automatically send people there. I'm sure that if I had been able to do this for other platforms, it would have done more. However, I've got trust issues. I'm not like locking myself into something immediately. So then they also have these cool choice pages. I did this and I did the deep linking on one of my baby sites, which doesn't get a ton of traffic. It gets about 5,000 page views a month at the moment. It is very US first audience, however, so I'm also not sure that it was able to really capitalize on the fact that this changes things for different locations. But this did decently well. I did see the site doesn't get a ton of conversions yet for affiliates. I haven't done a lot of affiliate posts on it yet, but I did see a tiny uptick in the conversions that I was seeing here. So it made, like, I think it was like 2.6% more than it had made the month before, but traffic was also up, so it could have just been a traffic increase. What I did see, I should have mentioned as well, is that for the Amazon links that it shared or that it converted for me, it tells you, oh, okay, like it did so well, you're getting this many more clicks you would have lost. And it told me I got like 26% more purchases and clicks. My Amazon income went down from during that period, which I think is really interesting because they're giving you that percentage and just kind of blatantly handing it to you. They are not openly showing you what your previous conversions were versus now, things like that. So I went in and checked. It did look like it was getting more clicks. It did not seem to result in more commissions, and to me, commissions is what matters. So I don't know if it necessarily matters to me a ton. I'm not sure if it's as helpful as they are saying it is. It kind of reminds me of Stay 22, where they will just tell you, oh, you're getting this percent more clicks or bookings or something than you were before, but you can't just see that. Like, they'll just tell you that, and then you have to like actually ask them to send you the stats for it, which frustrates me. So yeah, those are some of my issues with it. I do think the Amazon link health is great. However, Affiliate does that for me already. The link management can be interesting as well. Again, I already have that dealt with in a variety of ways, but mostly with Affiliate. So I think to some extent, some of these I didn't need. A/B testing, I do that with Affiliate already. Yes, but I do think that like the automatic product localization is an interesting idea. I just think it's not worth the price of this if that's all you're using it for, because Amazon One Link will do that automatically. I do also think the automatic affiliation is kind of like skim links, and that seemed to work. I did think it picked up on a couple on my baby site that I hadn't converted yet for things like Walmart that like I hadn't gotten into the program yet because I hadn't applied, to be honest. I've deeply neglected my baby site projects. Yep, they do have these like branded domain URLs as well, which I think is basically pretty links or thirsty affiliates, but it seems helpful to some extent, and could mean that you could use this and not have to have those plugins. I found the reporting quite robust. It was good reporting, to be fair. The UTM tagging was strong. It was easier to sort through as well than most other affiliate sites, so I wasn't having to get lost in, like, I don't know, like CJ. Oh my god, I hate CJ's backend and trying to like read those analytics. But again, like I do have Affiliate, and I think for the price of this, the fact that this is a paid tool that you have to pay monthly, for these small positives, it was not, to me, of benefit enough. The YouTube optimizer I didn't use. I do wish I'd had time to give it a shot more so. However, it's more about Amazon product links, and because my YouTube is all about SEO, it's where you're probably watching this, I don't put Amazon links there, I guess. Like, it's just not what I'm promoting. So I'm sure if I actually had like a YouTube channel for my travel blogs, that would make more sense. I did love the Chrome extension. I think that's such a great feature, especially for newbies who are just like, and honestly, anyone who's like running this solo and just overwhelmed, having the ability to convert the links really quickly in your Chrome, in a Chrome extension is so helpful. This is going to suck for me to say, but like Affiliate does that, so I didn't need it. And I feel really bad. I don't mean to be comparing this to Affiliate the whole time. However, to me, like for the price of Affiliate, I'm glad it has all those features, plus it does a lot more. This one, if I'd been able to do more with it, maybe I would be a bit more positive. But in the time I was trialing it, with the delay in them getting back to me about the converting links, which kind of cut my affiliate test time down significantly, and with the fact that like there was no ability to convert the links and then revert them back easily, that really slowed things down. This WordPress plugin is what I used for the Amazon links on my main site. It worked well. I did not see a significant speed decrease, which is great because most plugins will wreck your site with affiliates, and that was a massive benefit to me. I think the fact that they have got a code that is not wrecking your site is so good and like so hard to find, so I really appreciated that. That being said, like my site is pretty speedy at this point. I've done a lot to get it there, so if your site is already struggling with speed, the extra like 0.1, 0.2 seconds this could add could be a problem. I didn't see that. However, again, Amazon is not my main thing. I don't actually think I said that, so I don't know why I'm saying again. But Amazon is not my priority for my affiliates. So maybe I just don't have enough links that it mattered. I don't think that would be a factor, but I did test it on pages of mine specifically that have a lot of Amazon links, and there was not like a noticeable speed difference before or after. The embed snippet I didn't use, partially because it's one of those things that's going to, to convert your links, then you have to, like, you can't unconvert them, and that was frustrating to me, at least from my understanding. I will say, like, if I'm misunderstanding any of this, there's gonna, like, the reason that is because I read all their help documents, I watched all the videos. They're not super intuitive, I would say. I am not a massively techie person. I don't always understand all of the code stuff. And with their setup, I found it a bit confusing moving through the tutorial and as to like what was gonna permanently convert links or not. So I'm happy to learn if I was incorrect. However, I do think that speaks to some of the beginner customer service issues that might be happening, which happens all the time. And like as a course creator myself, I totally understand that when you create something, you know so much about it that you just assume everyone else gets it. So potentially they would benefit from having a lay person kind of go through it with them and show them like what they don't get, so they could simplify some stuff or make it a bit clearer. And so I do think it was an interesting experience. I'm going to show you guys, we'll do the how it works section, then we'll go through pricing. So I'm going to go through creators because that is more what I am. I think we went through all of these already. Yes, we did. Oh, here. This is the thing I think is interesting. If you convert your links with our WordPress plugin or JavaScript snippet, you can unconvert them at any time in an instant. Okay, so the JavaScript snippet then must do it as well. However, when I spoke to them, they told me it was only for Amazon links. So again, if that's incorrect, it'd be good for me to know. But what I was told is that those only work for Amazon. And since Amazon is not my priority, not worth it to me. I definitely wanted to use it more for the travel side of things because that's my main niche for multiples of my sites. And that was, I think that might have been a bit of the letdown. I think if Amazon is your priority, this is great. I think also if you maybe have some more general affiliates, it might be beneficial. For me, it just didn't offer enough use that it was worth the price to keep going with it. It was very speedy, I will admit that. I can't speak to the GDPR compliance. I no longer work in law. It seemed good. I mean, it seemed legitimate. So I think it was a good trial for me. It was interesting to experience. So I want to talk about the pricing now. So you have a 14-day free trial to start, which is like longer than most places will give you. You do have to give your credit card, which I don't love. I kind of hate when places do that and then make it was a little bit confusing to cancel initially, like finding the right page. If you Google it, it will tell you where to find it, which is good. So then for $5 a month, you get all those features. The great thing is that like they don't limit features based on like what price plan you're at. They do it more based on how many clicks you're going to get. And so the clicks are not onto your site, which I also really enjoy. And this is something that's good with most affiliate things that I've tried. Affiliate is the same way. It's the clicks that you're getting through the affiliate links, not necessarily sales, which like would be nicer if they only counted sales, but that then like their service is being used anytime it's being tracked. So I totally get why clicks is the thing that they're tracking. But it also means that, okay, if you have 2,000 page views a month, that doesn't mean you've maxed this out. It's going to be 2,000 clicks per month on your affiliate links. So you can have like way more traffic. And if you're like, this would probably be bad conversions, but if you have like 50,000 sessions and you're getting 2,000 clicks a month, you would still be on the $5 a month plan, which is like a very reasonable price. I think that is a really solid price, especially if at that rate, if you're getting to the 2,000 clicks and maxing it out and going above that, you're definitely making more than $5,000 a month if you have any conversions happening. Then again, I like that they do, it's like an extra couple dollars per 1,000 clicks, but if you drop back down 1 month to 2,000, it'll drop back down, unless you do like a package discount. So here you can see as well, you can see like what amount you would pay. So I think the highest they have is 250,000 clicks. You're only going to pay $253, which like I say only, and that sounds like a lot per month, and it is, but if you're getting like 250,000 clicks, and even if that converts at, I don't know, 1%, that's, I don't know how to, oh God, I just like made myself do math. So I think that's 2,500 clicks. I'm very bad at mental math. I'm such a calculator girl. 2,500 purchases. And if each of those is, I'm going to use $1 just for the sake of being simple. Even if it was half that, like minimum, you're probably making $1,000 a month off of that. So this is like, you're making more. So I think things like this are worth it as long as you are making enough off of it, like you're making more money off of it, and then that pays for itself, sort of a thing. What I found with this, and I think especially for my niche where like my focus isn't on Amazon, I was not going to justify the cost of even $5 a month for a baby site. Like definitely my main site would need more than that, but like would it at a certain point? Like if it was just Amazon, it definitely wouldn't. Well, I say definitely, I just don't look at Amazon enough to know my clicks, but I would think it wouldn't because I don't have that many. I do think it's worth giving it a go if this is something that you've been looking for. People do really seem to like it. Niche Site Lady talked about switching over, but she has not given a report yet on how it went, so I'll be interested to see her experience. I definitely don't have ill will for the company. I think that they're very nice, and they were very kind in offering me an extended trial. They tried to be really helpful. I think there was a lot of lag there and a lot of incongruity with their language that didn't help me figure things out. So if I had been able to launch in day one, give it the full time period, that would have been nice. It didn't happen for me, and that's okay. Personally, I wouldn't recommend this unless you, for some reason, can't use Amazon One Link and use a lot of Amazon links, or if you have things that you do want to convert between countries that are non-travel. So I did find that it can't integrate with everything, so it wouldn't have been able to do kind of what I had hoped or planned it would be able to do in converting between a bunch of travel products. It depends on what companies you connect to it, and they do have limitations on those companies currently. Hopefully they'll grow, and maybe in the future I can give it a try again, and maybe things will have switched up a bit. Or maybe I'll have a niche that I actually put, I have some that aren't travel and I just don't focus on them the way I should, and maybe one day I will give them the attention they deserve and then come back and try this for a month paid and see what happens. But yeah, at this point for me it wasn't a win. I do think it's an interesting idea. I just think right now, based on what it is supposed to offer, you can get a lot of that free with Amazon One Link, or a lot of the features you also get with Affiliate, which yes, is more expensive. The light plan is I think $300 a year, where this would be $60 a year at the 2,000 clicks mark. However, Affiliate doesn't just do this. It does a ton of other stuff, and I 3 times my income with it from I technically more than that, because when I first joined I was at $6,000 a month because I'd had a winter drop off, but I was averaging $10K before that. And then in January, I hit my first $30K month. And that was just a couple months after joining Affiliate and making some changes that they suggested. So to me, that's more worth it because I saw a massive return. And if anyone's had a more significant experience with Geniuslink, I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to hear about how you used it and how it was different for you. And yeah, convince me how good it is. I love finding new tools, and I would love to see use cases of this. Okay, have a great day.